I'm looking at the latest headlines at prisonplanet.com in the featured news section. Swine flu document lists sports arena and mass vaccination centers. We told you that was in all the previous documents. Now it's being openly announced. Also, Obama will bypass Congress to detain suspects indefinitely. Poll, only 14% of Americans believed Bush allowed 9/11 to happen, 8% unsure. That is the complete opposite of all of the other polls that have showed 84% believing they allowed it to happen. I mean, this poll is just an absolute fraud. But we need to point that out if we post the article, some of the older polls. That is just the public policy polling. I mean, that poll flies at the opposite of all other polls. Absolute fraud. Unbelievable how they're now putting out fake polls to counter all the hundreds of other real polls. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Congressman Ron Paul on. We had Congressman Alan Grayson on. That was the best interview that I have ever done today with Ron Paul. I will tell you that. I'm very, very proud of the information that was covered there. And that rebroadcast is coming up in an hour and 50 minutes. We'll have Ron Paul and the Congressman Alan Grayson interview coming back up as well. For the rest of this hour, then the next hour, we're getting reports live from the G20, the open announcement of world government, and they're planning on the deal to start shutting down the dollar. All we have left is the dollar in our economy. That's all we produce is the fiat currency. This is curtains. As Ron Paul said, it's going to be the worst thing we've ever seen financially. They staged the implosion last year to get everybody to go along with a handover of power to them. It's unspeakable. Dr. Sherri Tenpenny is a member of the prestigious National Speakers Association. Dr. Tenpenny is an outspoken advocate for free choice in healthcare. Dr. Tenpenny is a board-certified emergency medicine and osteopathic manipulative medicine. Prior to her career in alternative medicine, Dr. Tenpenny served as director of the emergency department of Blanchard Valley Regional Hospital Center in Findlay, Ohio in 96. Dr. Tenpenny founded the OsteoMed 2, expanding her practice and her vision of combining the best of conventional and alternative medicine. drtenpenny.com is her website, and her book is a bestseller, Foul Bird Flu, It's Not What You Think, which is updated for the swine flu and explains the scam, what the shots do, what the adjuvants do, what the mercury does. We have it available and discounted at Infowars.com on the secure online video bookstore shopping cart. You can call toll-free to get it. I hope everybody gets it, 888-253-3139. You can also go to drtenpenny.com to get it. But I want to put that out there for folks that want to actually be experts on this. This was compiled by the expert. She's seen by many as the expert on just the wide spectrum analysis of what is of the wide spectrum of what's happening. Let's go to Dr. Sherri J. Tenpenny. Doctor, great to have you here with us.
Thanks so much, Alex. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. It's good to have you here. Instead of me throwing out a bunch of questions about what do you think of the fear-mongering, what do you think of the adjuvants, what do you think of the announcements of sports stadiums, trying to force medical workers quietly to take it through color of law, just what do you think is most important right now? And give us a report on what you think is key.
What I think is key is to do whatever you have to do to keep yourself healthy. And I've always been a big proponent, Alex, you and I have talked about this before, in terms that health is from the inside out. And what's happening externally in terms of the bug, there's not a big reason to be afraid of that. But you have to keep yourself healthy from the inside out. One of the problems, though, is that the FDA is going to make it increasingly more difficult for you to keep yourself healthy. They've been sending out letters since May of this year for any sort of vitamin and supplement company that is putting out supplements that says that it can protect you and boost your immune system against the flu. And if they've mentioned the H1N1 flu virus in any of their products, the FDA is sending them warning letters that are actually could potentially cause them to and threatening criminal prosecution of these people. So it seems to me that they're trying to eliminate the competition and make it harder and harder for people to stay healthy and take care of themselves if they do get sick. There was they had a final ruling that came out today also about colloidal silver. I mean, I know that, or that came out last week. I know that a lot of the people that I get a lot of emails from, and I'm sure you do too, they ask, why don't I talk a lot about colloidal silver? Well, I had seen this coming down the road, and that the FDA was going to say it's not generally recommended as safe, and that they're taking regulatory action against a product that's marketed as a dietary supplement, unless it's labeled in a very specific way and it's marketed in a very specific way, and that it cannot be protected by the DSHEA Supplement Act if it says a topical gel or anything that's used on the skin. They've had this out there for a while. It's been out there since 1997, but the final ruling on this just came down last week on August. It just last Thursday, as a matter of fact, and it was listed in the Federal Register that all over-the-counter drugs, products containing colloidal silver ingredients or silver salts are used for external use, are not generally recognized as safe and effective, and are misbranded. So it makes me nervous that it seems as though all of the products that we in the natural health community have used safely for years and have seen great results with it, whether it be vitamins, supplements, herbs, colloidal silver, it seems as though those products may be taken away from us.
Well, I've got colloidal silver generator, and I've got some I've bought, but I need to remind my wife to buy a whole bunch of the better products that are out there as they shut down this tool. You're a medical doctor, and I've had medical doctor after medical doctor after medical doctor on, in many cases who aren't even involved in promoting it, and they say, no, it's a very strong antiviral and antibacterial, and in a lot of studies, and I'm going to ask you if this is correct, it shows it's a lot better than Tamiflu or other things they're making all this money off of. But I guess they're saying as a doctor, you're not allowed to practice medicine and say that. I mean, what do we know from the studies? I mean, what does colloidal silver do? I mean,
well, what they're saying in this FDA ruling, and this really comes right off of the FDA website, and the ruling went into effect September 16th. So this is really kind of hot off the presses. And what it says is that anything that people have seen, that there's no information about strength, quality, purity, and potency. And there was a lot of people who sent in and gave testimonials about different types of things. And they said that it was all anecdotal evidence, that nobody had submitted anything that proved anything to any kind of a drug quality standard.
But they've known for thousands of years that silver is a strong antibiotic. Right,
and they're not allowing it to be grandfathered in. They're clear in that. They are very clear in that without evidence, and I'm reading right from the report, Alex, where it says, without evidence that the composition and labeling has not changed since 1938 or 1962, the products cannot qualify for either grandfather exemption.
But I mean, specifically as a doctor.
Oh, no, we use it in our practice. We've used it
what does it do? Explain to people why microsilver kills bacteria and viruses when antibiotics only kill bacteria, antivirals only weaken viruses. And then it looks obvious to me that right as everybody's realizing this is something that the evidence has shown in the past has some good effects against flu and things, that they're now saying, you better not use this, you better not have it.
And you better not use certain vitamins, and you better not use certain herbals like medicinal mushrooms and things like that boost up your own resistance to external microbes. Back to your question, I mean, the way that it's understood that how the silver particles work is that they go in and they cause the metabolism of the bug to stop working, and they stop the replication of viruses, and it lyses the cell membrane of bacteria and fungus. And I'm not an expert on the physiology of that, Alex, and I think there might be some loopholes for some of the manufacturers, but I have seen FDA warning letters that went out a while ago to people who are manufacturers of this. And I guess my point when you asked me what did I think was important is that we have a lot of tools in the natural health community to not only get us well after we've been sick so that we can avoid things like Tamiflu, but that we can build up our own resistance and build up our own internal strength against these microbes. And it looks as though at every turn, not only are they promoting this vaccine and everybody has to be vaccinated, and I know you've talked about this a lot, and a lot of the writings and the radio I've been on too has been a lot about the vaccine, but it's like, what else can we do to keep ourselves healthy? It's concerning to me that it looks like a lot of these tools are being shut down by the FDA and FDA also.
Well, it's outrageous. I mean, I've read the reports. We've had medical doctor after medical doctor on, and I have gone back and seen studies over the last 100 years about tiny silver particles just shredding viruses and bacteria. It's like holy water to a vampire. And, I mean, I've got it for my family. And I've seen the studies that elderberry might be bad because it could actually cause a hemorrhagic immune response and jack up your immune system and trigger something. I don't understand all the properties of that, so we're not going to use that. I mean, and then I guess in America, they could come after you. I'm not even allowed to ask you, a medical doctor. I guess get sun, because I've had vitamin D helps, and especially the type that the skin produces. I guess I'm not allowed to ask you if that's good. I guess I'm not allowed to ask if getting a lot of sleep is good and being healthy. I guess I'm not allowed. I mean, what are you doing for yourself?